Okay, this is going to be my second attempt at doing some reloading for the 45 Colt Long. I'll zoom in here and take a look at the bullets we were using. Now, my first try, I was using a bullet designed for a 45 automatic. And I just had a lot of them. I gave it a try. I did a video on my results. I did a test run with Unique. And the results were, well, it was raining. I really didn't get set up. I didn't set the chronograph up. They kind of really didn't shoot well. I don't know if it was just the rain and not doing the gun right, but I bought a bullet mold, which is the lead 255 grain supposedly bullet. And this is more along the lines, if you notice, you got just about the same bearing surface, but the nose shape is different, blunt. This would be better to load in a lever action rifle in 45 Colt. And it's kind of a more, I'd say, traditional shape. I haven't done a lot of work with this, but for right now we're just going to get that out of the way. We're going to try this out because, like I said, with the blunt nose, it's more, if I get a lever action rifle, I could also use this load in a carbine. Now the thing is, the bullet's supposed to cast 255 actually, and I cast these out of linotypes, and it always comes out a little lighter. They're about 245, so they're coming out about 10 grains lighter, and that is because of the alloy. Now what we're going to do is, I made another video about the cylinder throat diameters on the revolvers. That's something that could throw your accuracy off. I didn't know that, but I've checked mine. Some of these bullets I'm sizing to 452, which my cylinder throat is 453 and my groove diameter is 452 on the pistol. So the bullet size to 452 will work fine. The only thing is, I usually like in a cast bullet going a thousandths or so bigger than a groove diameter, like 453 or 454. But the problem is, if I size these bullets 454, is about what they come out of the mold. So you might not even have to size them. You'll be shaving the thousandths off when the bullet travels through the cylinder. Now this probably wouldn't be bad or whatever, but the thing is, you have to bear in mind that any resistance or a larger diameter bullet is going to increase your pressures. Speaking of which, while we're on that, we're going to try this load with Unique. I wanted to do it with some, I heard people are getting real good results with Trail Boss, but I went to the shops today. They're sold out of Unique and no Trail Boss, so I got some powder left over. Hopefully I'll get enough for a test run, but we're going to go with Unique because that's what we have on hand. Now, searching through my reloading data on loaddata.com, this is another thing. I got all kinds of weird data, and what it's going to do is it's going to change with the shape of the bullet, the design of the bullet is going to affect your pressure in operation. I looked it up, and like they had the two different Lyman bullets, 451, 452. The 454 with 9 grains of Unique is supposed to travel out of a pistol at 870 feet per second. With the 452, 8.2 grains of Unique is supposed to go at 931 feet per second. So there's a variance. This is why it's important you start a few grains lower and work your way up to the maximum load using a chronograph and see if this kind of marries up. And going through all these different things, I found one load with 8 grains of Unique should be traveling at 850 feet per second, and that's going to give me 12,300 CUP for the pressure, which on these old Colts and the Italian replicas, which are very close, made close to the old Colts, they're not as strong as, say, like a Ruger Super Blackhawk or a Thompson Contender. You'll actually see different load data. You don't want to go over 14,000 CUP. So that 8 grains of unique sounds like a target area. Now I've seen load data in the old manual going up to like 10, 11, which I use that in a 44 Magnum with a 250 grain bullet, which I think's a little too stiff. So what I decided to do is I'm going to make a run, and basically all I did was, prime, size, neck to brass. I ain't going to go through that. I'm going to load a series of 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5 grains of unique. I'm going to run them 4 loads out and see what I get. Not going to the maximum, staying away from 9 or 10. That's a little too much. And again, you don't know the variables. This data is all over the place. Nothing seems to correlate. And so you got to start off. Now, the other time I did it, I did go down to 6. I think I did 6, 7, 8, and 9 grains of unique with a 250 grain bullet. And it's pretty steep load. It's pretty powerful. So, also, my one load manual said the most accurate load was 8 grains of unique. Now, some data just gives you one load. I've seen one that just said 8 grains of unique, start and finish. They didn't give you anything else. So I'm looking at the 8 grains of unique with this bullet are kind of optimum. So I'm going to go down to 7. I don't want to go to 6.5 or something, because getting down to 600 feet per second, like I said, I want to make this in a carbine load. You don't want to go too slow, because you don't know if you put it in a 19, 20 inch long barrel, if they might not have it, you might get a bullet stuck in the barrel. So I believe the gun can handle it. So we're going to go for 8 grains is the optimum. But we're going to give a grain back just to make sure our chronograph, now if I put 7 grains of unique in and I'm getting over 850 feet per second, that means to stop. Something's wrong. Okay? And using common sense. So basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to load up my charges, and it's the same as any standard reloading operation. I'm going to come down with this bullet using this blunt bullet. I'm just going to seat it, roll crimp it, give it a good heavy crimp. That way it can be used. The force in the revolver won't make the bullet jump out the cylinder, and also to be loaded into a tubular magazine lever action carbine. That's our other goal. And we're going to try the 452 bullet. If I don't get good results, I'm going to try going with 454 bullet, cast bullet, and see if that'll change things a little. But that's where we're going, and I'll cut out, and once I get I'm not going to show you the weighing the powder and going through the steps. If you need any of that info, that's what we're going to do, is drop the powder charge, seat the bullet, crimp it. We're not going to do it in a separate operation. We're doing it in one to save time, because I believe this bullet mold, or this bullet design, can handle it, and it's a harder bullet. I don't think it'd harm it any. But you could go where you see them all and crimp them in a separate operation for accuracy. It may aid in the accuracy, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, we got the load done, and that's what we come up with that Lee 255 grain bullet. I like this a lot better. This here with the flat nose will work better in a tubular magazine. But if you look closely, you see this ring here on the one bullet. I ran into a problem, and a tip I can give you is a brand new seating stem. Had a very sharp edge to it. Same with the top punch in a lubricizer. What you do is take them, chuck them up in a drill press, hit it with some sandpaper, maybe a little Scotch-Brite, and just break the edge. Don't go animal and grind them off. But you will probably, on a brand new thing, have to take the sharp edge or the burr off of your seating stem in your seating die, or your top punch. I had trouble with both of them when I was doing these. But there it is. We're going to give it a run with Unique hopefully tomorrow, and hopefully we'll get better results than what we did with the other one. It was basically, I didn't have it set up right, but we're going to give it another try